You may have seen headlines like this: Microsoft's Copilot is now appearing across many products. But surprisingly, very few people actually want it. User frustration has been growing quickly, and today, very few people are willing to pay for it. Out of roughly 450 million Microsoft 365 enterprise seats, only about 3% are paying for Copilot. And the frustration is not limited to users. After Microsoft announced a major expansion of its AI investments, the company lost around $400 billion in market value in just 1 week. But the problems with Copilot may go even deeper. In fact, this could become one of the biggest mistakes in Microsoft's history. One of the biggest questions surrounding Copilot is adoption. Even today, more than 96% of Microsoft 365 users are still not paying for Copilot. But what makes this situation more surprising is just how high Microsoft's expectations were. Because Copilot was never meant to be a small experimental feature, it was designed to be deeply integrated across Microsoft's ecosystem. For example, if you are using Windows 11, you can open Copilot directly from the taskbar. From there, it can help locate files or adjust certain system settings. Which raises a simple question: what exactly was Copilot supposed to do? To understand that, we need to look at Microsoft's broader AI strategy. Microsoft's ambitions were not limited to software features alone. The company was also investing enormous amounts of money into AI infrastructure. Between 2023 and 2024, Microsoft was expected to spend around $80 billion on AI, and the scale of investment continued to grow. By 2025, AI-related spending had reportedly reached more than $30 billion per quarter. Much of that spending went into securing GPUs, expanding large-scale data centers, and building the servers required to run advanced AI models. But infrastructure was only part of the strategy. At its core, Copilot was designed to act as an AI assistant for everyday work. Inside Outlook, it could summarize long email threads and generate draft replies. In Word, it could help organize documents or summarize key information. In Excel, Copilot could analyze data and automatically generate charts or tables. And in PowerPoint, it could even create presentation slides based on existing documents. But Copilot was not limited to Microsoft 365 applications. It was also connected directly to the Windows system itself. That meant it could locate files stored on your computer, compare documents, or analyze files stored in OneDrive. At the same time, Microsoft was also targeting another critical market: developers. One of the fastest growing areas for AI tools is software development, and Microsoft already controlled one of the most important platforms in that ecosystem: GitHub. GitHub is the world's largest platform for code collaboration, and on top of that platform, Microsoft introduced GitHub Copilot, an AI tool designed to assist developers while they write code. It can generate code, predict the next lines of a program, and suggest solutions during development. In other words, Copilot was not just another feature added to existing software. It was designed to operate directly inside the environments where people actually work, whether that meant writing documents, analyzing spreadsheets, or building software. Microsoft's push behind Copilot was far more than a simple feature update. The company was investing enormous resources into the project. Copilot itself was built on top of the same AI models that power ChatGPT. And Microsoft had already invested more than $11 billion in OpenAI. But this was not just a partnership. Microsoft was also spending heavily on the infrastructure required to run large AI systems. That meant massive investments in data centers, AI servers, and high-performance GPUs. At the same time, Copilot was being pushed across Microsoft's entire ecosystem. Copilot features began appearing inside Edge in the Windows taskbar and across the Microsoft 365 suite. Some products were even redesigned around Copilot itself. And eventually, Microsoft introduced a new category of devices called Copilot Plus PCs. targets computers designed with AI capabilities built directly into the hardware. In other words, Copilot was not just another feature. It was becoming the center of Microsoft's next-generation computing strategy. And this was only the beginning. But infrastructure was only part of the plan. Microsoft also had a clear business model for Copilot. The pricing was simple. Copilot would cost around $30 per user per month. From Microsoft's perspective, the opportunity was enormous. Microsoft 365 already had hundreds of millions of enterprise users. If even a small portion of them adopted Copilot, it could quickly become a massive new revenue stream. To support that claim, Microsoft commissioned a study from consulting firm Forrester. The results were extremely optimistic. According to the report, companies using Copilot could see a return on investment between 130% and 350%. Productivity improvements were estimated at 5 to 12%. On paper, the numbers looked very promising. At first, things actually looked pretty positive. Among companies that had tried Copilot, around 94% said they experienced at least some improvement. And nearly 70% of Fortune 500 companies had introduced Copilot in some form. On the surface, it looked like the product was spreading successfully, but the deeper numbers told a different story. Only about 6% of companies had actually rolled Copilot out across their entire organization. Most companies were still just experimenting, and when individual users began sharing their experiences, the reaction was far less enthusiastic. Online forums quickly filled with complaints. One user said they asked Copilot to show a list of files they had opened earlier that day, but the system returned files from several years ago. Another user described a different issue. Instead of completing the task they asked for, Copilot would often explain how to do it manually. For example, one user asked Copilot to create a chart in Excel using a specific dataset. But instead of generating the chart, Copilot simply explained the steps required to build the chart themselves. So instead of acting like an AI assistant that actually performs tasks, it often behaved more like a help menu. And perhaps the most ironic detail of all, some reports suggested that even Microsoft employees themselves were paying for ChatGPT out of pocket, instead of relying on Copilot. When Copilot adoption inside companies failed to grow as quickly as Microsoft had hoped, the company began exploring a different strategy. Instead of focusing only on large enterprise customers, Microsoft started expanding toward the consumer market. This shift became visible in Microsoft 365 subscriptions. In late 2024, Microsoft began bundling Copilot into personal and family Microsoft 365 plans. But the change quickly sparked controversy, because the subscription price increased at the same time. The personal plan rose by more than 40%, while the family plan increased by nearly 30%. But the bigger problem was how users could return to the previous pricing. Many people discovered that the option was not visible in the normal settings menu. Instead, the only way to find the old plan was to go through the subscription cancellation process. In some regions, the situation was even more restrictive. For example, users in Australia and New Zealand reported that switching back to the previous pricing was no longer possible. Eventually, the issue began attracting attention from regulators. Authorities in Australia started reviewing whether the policy could be considered misleading to consumers. The potential penalty being discussed was around 50 million Australian dollars. Another controversy soon followed. Copilot features were integrated much more deeply into Windows 11 than Windows 10. Because of this, some users began to speculate that Microsoft's decision to end Windows 10 support relatively early might also be connected to the push to expand Copilot. But the strategy appeared to have an unexpected side effect. Instead of upgrading, some users began saying they would simply continue using Windows 10. Online communities also started inventing nicknames for Copilot. Some people called it Clippy 2.0. Others used the name Microslop. The reference to Clippy was intentional. It compared Copilot to the old paperclip assistant that once appeared in Microsoft Office. In the end, Copilot may still be useful for certain developers. But Microsoft's ambition was never just to build a niche coding tool. The company wanted Copilot to become the center of the next generation computing platform. But based on the results so far, Copilot still appears to be far from reaching that goal.